Year 1. Edward begins teaching at a public school. His annual salary is $48,000. After paying taxes, renting a suburban studio apartment, and buying teaching materials out of his own pocket, he is left with exactly $200 a month for living expenses. He lives in strict austerity, subsisting mainly on rice and cheap fast food, and spends his weekends at the library studying adaptive learning methods. His colleagues look at him with pity. "Ed, why are you killing yourself like this?" They pay for seniority here, not enthusiasm. Jason gets behind the wheel. He takes a job as a delivery driver for a logistics company. His salary is $45,000 a year. He works 50 hours a week, performing grueling physical labor. He has no time for luxuries. He works himself to the bone just to cover basic bills. No restaurants, no financing an iPhone. Like Edward, he lives a life of extreme frugality. The only difference is their offices. One is a classroom, the other a truck cab. Year 2. Edward continues working at the school, but in the evenings, he begins developing his own teaching method, a series of digital flashcards and interactive quests. He spends the last $300 of his savings on hosting and basic marketing. He still counts every penny, and his leisure time is spent coding his platform. Meanwhile, Jason is also looking for ways to increase his income. He doesn't spend money on entertainment, he saves. He studies routes and logistics, spotting areas where the company is losing money. He starts pitching ideas to management, but he is ignored. Jason realizes that as a hired driver, he has hit a ceiling. He continues to work himself to exhaustion. His life consists of nothing but home and the steering wheel. No quick money, just a grueling grind. Year 5. Edward makes a bold move. He takes out a small loan to fully launch his educational platform as a startup. He leaves his teaching job and steps into the unknown. It is a brutal period. He lives in survival mode, skimping on food and heating. His project isn't profitable yet, and his debts are mounting. To those around him, he looks like a failure who quit a stable job for a dubious idea. Jason, tired of working a dead-end job for someone else, decides to strike out on his own. He takes out a loan secured by his meager savings, buys his first used truck, and obtains a private carrier license. He becomes an entrepreneur. He lives even more frugally than before. Every penny goes toward truck maintenance and insurance. He isn't living large. He is investing everything into the wheels that are supposed to put food on his table. Year 8. Edward enters the market with a finished product. His platform begins to scale. Schools across the state sign subscription contracts with him. His income reaches $180,000 a year. He remains cautious, reinvesting profits into software development and hiring curriculum specialists. He has built an automated system that works for him. Over these years, Jason has built a fleet of 4 trucks. He works like a dog, managing logistics, hunting for orders, and personally handling vehicle repairs. His annual revenue hits $300,000. But after deducting all expenses, lease payments, fuel, taxes, driver wages, and endless repairs, he is left with very little. He realizes he has fallen into the ownership trap. He isn't running the business is running him. His life is a constant battle against breakdowns and the whims of the market. Year 10. Edward has fully automated his company. His SaaS product runs reliably, and he sells licenses nationwide. His annual net income is $450,000. He invests in real estate, and his assets generate passive income. He has built a rock-solid system that does not depend on his physical presence. Jason is facing a severe crisis. Fuel prices have skyrocketed, the logistics market is oversaturated, and his aging fleet of trucks requires overhauls that cost more than the vehicles themselves. His business cannot withstand the pressure from competitors using new technologies. He is forced to sell everything for a pittance to settle his debts. He is left with nothing after spending 10 years on a business that built no defenses. Edward invested in an intellectual asset that does not require linear cost increases as it scales. Jason invested in a physical asset, transportation, that wore down year by year, demanding more investment rather than yielding returns. At the start of their journeys, both worked equally hard and lived modestly. Neither lived extravagantly. The only difference lay in where they invested their time. Edward focused on creating a self-sustaining system, while Jason focused on maintaining machinery. The one who built a foundation of knowledge won, while the one who chased after wheels was left empty-handed. Which strategy strikes you as more well thought out? Creating a product that will eventually run without you? Or building a business that demands constant personal involvement and maintenance? Let us know in the comments which path you would choose. And if you want to build a system rather than just steer the wheel of your own life, be sure to subscribe to the channel.